not the podcast you are looking for.
If you're looking for the same old content delivered by the same old people, you are on the wrong pod.
This podcast has life form. You are listening to Stache and Lash.
You're listening to Stache and Lash, the show where we talk about everything that unites us as Mexicans.
One living in the U.S. and one living in Mexico. The Stache and Lash Show. Is this thing on?
Happy Thanksgiving week for my folks here in the U.S. and for my folks out there in Mexico. Feliz
Día de Acción de Gracias. Why not?
Gracias. I am the Stache.
And I'm the Lash. Hi, everybody. Welcome back after a little break. A little break. A tiny
break. Did you miss us? I mean,
did you?
I don't know. I don't know. Lash, I think we're starting to get a momentum here with the podcast. So I think this week off is maybe have our fans going, I want some more. So hopefully this will let you guys know. Please continue to follow us, but don't just follow us. Don't just watch or listen. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when the next episode of Stache and Lash is going to be out. Also in all the other platforms of Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify or whatever you're listening through. Don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, por favor.
Exactly. And I actually got a couple of messages of people like, hey, why are you guys taking a break? And I'm like, and yeah, there was like a particular reason for it, but we are back. So thank you for looking out for us, right?
Yeah, for missing out. Yeah, for sure. And again, if some folks are out there, I mean, I got to find out what that, there was one of the comments out there that was pretty cool. Let me see here. It was pump_plays. You said, your channel is so good. You deserve more subscribers. Well, thank you very much, pump_plays. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Yes.
That is awesome. We love that. No, definitely continue to, to encourage us, to share with us. Don't hold back. Come on, join us. But with content. That today, good stuff coming in today. Yes. It's very topical. Me and the Lash were talking and we're like, what are we going to talk about? Well, this is the week leading up to Thanksgiving here in the U.S. And I told Lash, I'm like, hey, do you know what Thanksgiving is? And she's like, yeah, I used to live in the U.S. for a little bit, but at the same time, and I watch a lot of TV, of course. But then we're like, you know what? Let's talk about it a little bit because we have fans in Mexico, maybe across the world. I mean, since the Squid Games, we have like an abundance of Korean followers.
We have people listening from South Korea, from Australia, from Germany.
Hi, everyone. German. Hello, German.
So
we love that. Yeah. So since we're international, you know what? Let's educate our fellow folks around the world. What is Thanksgiving here in the U.S. and is there any connection there? What is the history with that, as well as what is going on in Mexico? Do they celebrate something similar? Do they even know what this is? So we're going to answer those questions today. So quickly, just want to talk a little bit about the history. What the heck is Thanksgiving?
What is Thanksgiving?
I know, exactly. What is Thanksgiving? We're going to answer that question. Also, we'll talk about Black Friday. Maybe I'm curious to know Mexico has Black Friday. Also, some traditions like football and Thanksgiving, and there's a big parade.
Parades.
Oh my gosh, there is a lot that we can unpack here in the next 60 seconds. So I think we should get started. What do you think, Lasho?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Well, the first thing I want us to dive into is where did it all start, right? So growing up here in the U.S., we are told the story of the Pilgrims who came to the U.S. in the Mayflower. It's a famous ship. Yeah, the Mayflower. And supposedly, again, the folks that were in this Mayflower, we called them Pilgrims. And I'm curious, Stache, you grew up here in the States when you were little. Do you recall any of the stories, or what is your first recollection of knowing the story? None of this? So how old were you again?
History. I lived the first 7 years of my life in the U.S., like literally since I was born.
Baby G.
Yes, tiny. And no, I don't remember history, like exactly facts and what happened and whatnot. I mean, all I can remember is the celebration, the Turkey Day, and yeah, the difference between pilgrims and natives, right?
Natives American, yeah, natives. So not a lot. Yeah, you were very little, 7. You're probably maybe kindergarten, first grade, maybe
Yes.
chiquita, right? So growing up, we do a lot of this stuff. We learn, right? We dress up like pilgrims and Native Americans, and we replicate in school the first Thanksgiving dinner. But a couple of things that I just found out doing a little bit of research is that the pilgrims weren't necessarily called pilgrims back then. They were called religious separatists. So they wanted to go and find their own, piece of land, and that's where they came across. Plymouth Rock is the famous folk tale. A lot of folks are saying no, they never landed on the rock, and all this controversy. But what happened is, of course, if you know that side of the town, it's super cold during the winters, and that was a harsh reality. So this is where the separatists or the pilgrims needed help, right? And one of the locals that were there were a tribe, a Native American tribe called the Wampanoag tribe. Did I say? Yeah, you said it right. Wampanoag. Wampanoag tribe, they welcomed them, and what was really cool about this encounter, because there's been several encounters with natives and the various different other nations coming and trying to take over land, is that the Wampanoag had a translator who spoke very good English in their tribe. And we also learned about this in growing up, and his name was Squanto. Squanto was a Native American. And quick thing about Squanto, I believe that he was taken, as like a slave or of some sort, and he was taken to the UK and back in England. So he learned English. So he was able to translate with the natives, and of course with the pilgrims. So he helped them. They helped develop, and of course that's where the famous Thanksgiving dinner came from, right? So they all gathered, celebrated the harvest, what they taught them. But here's a fun fact, G. When you think of Thanksgiving dinner, what's the first food that comes to your mind?
Turkey.
Turkey, of course, right?
Yeah.
But you'll be surprised that they did not have turkey the first Thanksgiving. What?
I knew it.
I know it was a lie.
I had a feeling it was a lie.
It was a lie all my life. If you were to guess, what do you think was one of the first food that they ate? If you were to make a wild turkey guess.
A wild guess? But I don't know, maybe some kind of fruits or I don't know.
Vegetables?
Fruit?
I would say vegetables.
Seeds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely that for sure. I would say vegetables were hardy. You think about the harvest, right? Maybe like some squash and those type of things. Maybe if they had potatoes back then, I don't know. Those were I don't know when those originated, right? But the type of protein that they had was more actually deer. So the natives brought deer, which makes sense, right?
Yes.
They had deer back then. Also an assorted of wild, called wild fowl, or basically like wild birds. So almost close to turkey, right? Wild birds. And of course, you think about various other, like you said, vegetables and fruits and stuff. So good guess, G. Look at that. You passed. You have an A.
I passed. So where did the turkey came along?
Well, that's interesting. You know what? It wasn't, I don't know the exact year, but it definitely came down several hundreds of years later that it became a very staple
like hundreds
tradition.
of years later. Okay.
Yeah. And if you think about Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers, he loved turkey so much, right? People started liking turkey, and they go, why don't we just have turkey? Because it's a big bird, right? He actually wanted to make the turkey the national bird of the United States instead of the bald eagle.
It would have been hilarious. Can you imagine, like a turkey, like, oh my god,
Waggle. I know, it's like, I mean, the U.S. is probably glad that didn't happen, because like, what's your state bird? It's the falcon, it's the eagle, it's whatever. It's like,
we have like a very badass eagle in Mexico, and imagine like the U.S. a turkey. A chubby turkey.
A chubby turkey. It actually kind of represents a lot of U.S. We're very chubby turkeys here. But, the eagle, right? And that's where Mexico and the U.S. eagle is always very symbolic, right? But a fun fact that I found out too is, let me ask you this next question, G. Another, here's you didn't know it was going to be a test today, huh?
No.
How many turkeys do you think were consumed? And you can round it up. I don't need an exact number, but just like a solid number. How many turkeys do you think were eaten in the U.S. in 2020?
How many turkeys?
Yep,
2020
Mhm,
in the entire country. Oh my
mhm.
gosh. It was in the middle of the pandemic. I don't know. I don't know.
Just throw a number out there. Throw a number.
Oh, it's gonna be like ridiculous.
Definitely ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, this is. I was gonna say this is hard, but that's what she said, and I already said it. I don't know. Oh my God.
She's crazy.
100? I don't know.
Okay, 100 turkeys
No, I don't know.
out of millions of people.
Yes, I was gonna say like 10 million, but again, I don't know. But that's why
10
that's why
million
I
is
warned you people that it was going to be a ridiculous number. Okay.
I like how she said
This guy is setting me up.
out of all the people in the U.S., only 100 turkeys were eaten.
Exactly.
All right, here's the number. Ready?
Okay,
The
shoot.
suspense is killing me.
Dun, dun,
Over
dun.
46 million.
Oh my
turkeys
God,
were eaten.
100, and I said
100. Yeah,
Oh my God.
exactly. I don't know. It's okay. We'll forgive you. Over 46 million turkeys were eaten in 2020.
46 million
46
turkeys.
million. And another holiday that turkeys are eaten a lot but less is Christmas. A lot of Americans
Yes.
like to eat turkey at Christmas. Like to eat Christmas.
I can't believe I said 100. Okay, next.
No. Well, here we go. There's another test. So
Oh
over
my
46 million were eaten during Thanksgiving. How many do you think were eaten in Christmas?
No, I think there were
It's definitely
more
less.
yes. Of that 46 million, like 15 million?
Okay, close enough. 22 million.
Oh, I was gonna say 20.
Yeah, you're close. 22 million. So if you think about it, I was doing the math and I looked at some research. I said, hey, about 245 million turkeys are eaten in the year in the
Oh
US.
my God.
So if you combine the 45 and the 22, that's like in 2 days, a quarter of the turkey that was consumed is consumed in 2 days.
Oh, vegans are
Oh,
gonna
they-
be pissed.
All the kids and the people that love their animals going, oh, pobrecito.
Yes.
But
Don't
that's
listen to
crazy.
this, PETA.
Yeah, don't
That's
listen,
crazy.
please. That's insane, right?
That's insane. Yeah.
46 plus 22 and 204. Wow, that's a
But
lot of
that's
turkeys
like
in only 2 days.
around exactly those two holidays, right? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but they ate them during but yeah, mostly during those, like a quarter of that is in 2 days. But
Mhm.
so that's a staple, right? But some of the things here in the US, growing up since I was little, we started, we adapted to the eating turkey también, and of course we put our own spin to it, put our own ingredients and spices. You can do it however you want. You can do like a in the oven turkey, which is very traditional. You can deep fry a turkey. You can put it on the grill. I've seen grilled or smoked turkey. So it's whatever, as long as you're having turkey. So, gee, let me ask you this question: do you eat turkey much in Mexico?
On Christmas.
Christmas.
I love turkey on Christmas. Like that's my staple Christmas
Mole.
dinner.
Is it mole?
No.
Oh.
In the oven with vegetables, like roasted, like very classic turkey. And you like,
Nice.
how do you say that? Like you,
Carve. You
yes,
carve
like
it.
you carve it. Yes.
How do you-
But yeah, in
Give it a
Christmas.
massage. What is that?
And because again, in Mexico, and
In
most of Latin America, we do not celebrate Thanksgiving. So on Christmas is the holiday where we
You consume turkey.
eat turkey. Yes.
That's cool.
So tell me, like, what's a traditional American Thanksgiving feast?
Well,
Like,
I'll tell you what I've heard and seen, and I'll tell you what my family does, because every
Yes.
family is going to be different, right? And then you talk about in the U.S., there's a lot of different cultures and
Mhm.
national. And I think we were talking about this earlier. There's also like a fusion,
Mm-hmm.
or just a mix of different cultures. So the traditional things that come to my mind when I think of Thanksgiving, of course, turkey. Then you have, what usually comes with turkey is stuffing, which I do
Mhm.
not like. I'm not a fan of stuffing. Ugh. It's
What's
just like
in the
bread,
stuffing?
It's like, I don't know,
Bread.
bread. And
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
okay.
It's not my favorite. I'm not
Mhm.
a fan. If you like stuffing, sorry, you can put your comments. Tell me what your favorite. Maybe give me your favorite recipe. Maybe I'll try it because I haven't had a stuffing that I like.
Oh, there's a lot of recipes for stuffing. Like it's not like
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a variety of them. Yeah, and I haven't found one that I like. Smashed potatoes and gravy. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Oh yeah. Different kinds of Then you try the cranberry sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that's I grew up when I first saw cranberry sauce. I saw it in a can. Have you seen
Mm-hmm.
this when they pull it out? Y
Mm-hmm.
sale como the shape of a
Like
can.
jelly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I was like, ugh. And what I didn't like about it, G, is because I remember one time I thought it was cranberry sauce, but it was beets. I don't know what beets is in Spanish.
Rábanos.
Rábanos. So they were
Yes.
rábanos. So I thought it was, totally different.
No es cierto, perdón. Oh, I'm sorry. Beets es betabel.
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 Oh, okay.
That
Okay.
extremely red. Yes.
Red, yeah, it's very similar to the cranberry.
Mhm.
So in the can, it comes out the same también, todo shape of jelly. So I thought it was cranberry, so I took a slice and beets, not very sweet.
Mhm.
So I hated that for years because I always got confused. But then you have really a homemade cranberry. That's good. I had that a few years ago. Now I changed. I converted people. So you can convert me when it comes to the stuffing, but give me so far I had todavía nada. Nothing.
Challenge accepted.
Convert me, people.
Leave
So
down
this
below
cranberry-
your stuffing recipes, people.
stuff your stuffing recipes down
Stuff.
below. So cranberry, mashed potatoes, y luego muchos types of casseroles, right? So you're talking about green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole.
I've heard about sweet potato casserole, and I would love to try that. I love sweet potato, so
my wife makes one with was it walnuts on top, and it's glazed, so it's kind of like almost like a pie, taste.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Mm.
One of the
That
casseroles that I'll send you the recipe so you can
Thank
make it.
you. Thank you.
Another one that she makes that I really enjoy, and I'm not sure if it's a staple, but it's broccoli casserole, which is really good. So the broccoli is, of course, broccoli, but it has like mushroom, cream of mushroom, sé qué, just
Yum.
so good. And another one I would say that's common is, I don't know if it's super common, but it's deviled eggs. So
Okay,
eggs
yeah.
with the
Yes.
little cream on top.
Mhm.
But those are what comes to mind. If I miss anything, let me know in the comments. What is your like staple? But those are the ones that come to my mind. Now, I've had Thanksgiving where we had tamales. I've been to a Thanksgiving where there's pupusas because they're from El Salvador.
Mhm.
I've had Thanksgiving where we've had menudo, pozole.
Wow.
So there's no rules. I mean, you can do what you want, but that is kind of the tradition of those types of dishes.
Yeah, I mean, you celebrate the holiday, but you adapt to the food you like. So that's great.
That's the food you like, and really what it comes down to is coming together and being thankful, right?
Exactly.
Like you said, in Mexico, you mentioned Dia de Acción y Gracias. So tell me a little bit about that. What is that about?
Well, the literal translation we can say that is Thanksgiving Day, el Día de Dar Gracias. So a day to be thankful for. So again, in Mexico and most of Latin America, we do not celebrate this holiday because I was doing my research, and of course we were not colonized, but by that part of Europe. So we do not adapt or adopt that celebration ourselves. We have celebrations of our own, Cinco de Mayo, Dia de Muertos, and that we both celebrate those two holidays now. But Thanksgiving, slowly but surely, is becoming a thing. I remember 2 years ago at my children's school, they do not make like a celebration, but they did cornupia. How do you say that in English?
Cornucopia.
There you go. And the kids did that drawing, and they did like the little fruits and the vegetables and everything that means about it, that it's a horn of a feast, like abundancia, like having a lot of things to share. So they learned about what it's like to be grateful, how it is, what it's like to share with other people. So I remember back then they were asked that every kid bring a dish or a candy or anything that they could share with one another. So yeah, so we do not celebrate it as a holiday, like you guys, like you skip work, you skip school, or I don't know. But it's coming. It's happening slowly but surely. It's happening.
Slowly but surely, it's coming. People, watch out.
It's coming, and it's interesting because I have like this vague memory of about me being a kid in the United States, and I remember that in school, of course, we drew turkeys and we did this and the holiday and whatnot. But it's starting to happen over here too. So
You're
that's
starting to see some of
interesting.
it.
It's
Hmm.
I'm sure that in a couple of years we're going to be sharing that same celebration over here. Maybe
Okay, Matt, you never know. It could happen,
as
right?
in the U.S. they adopted
Dia de Muertos.
Dia de Muertos, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of crossing over. I mean, even like you did make a good point that you weren't Mexico was not colonized by the English, right? It was more the Spanish. The
Yes, with
Spanish.
Spain. Hmm.
So when you think about like Canada, they were conquered by the English, but also the French, just like some of the U.S. And
Yeah.
they also have a Canadian Thanksgiving. So, but theirs is celebrated on I think the second Monday of October.
Okay.
So they have it a little bit earlier.
Earlier. Hmm.
Yeah, and it's also very similar, right? They're very similar tradition, but that's pretty cool that other countries, like you said, have a different time of the year, but it's kind of around that fall, right?
Hmm.
Otoño, I think in Spanish, right?
Yeah, when it's getting really cold. Like going
Yeah,
back to the original story, what they came and it was really cold and whatever. So yeah, it's where it starts to be like really cold, and especially in
yeah,
Canada.
in Canada, eh? So
Mhm.
yeah, it kind of gets really cold. I mean, as we found out this past
Oh,
week, we don't want to talk about that.
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's move on back to the
let's
topic.
move on.
So it wasn't a major holiday yet though in the U.S. until about 1863,
Hmm.
and that's when Abraham Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving Day, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Good old Honest Abe. So that's when it became a holiday, and then from there it became a traditional thing, and it just of course went on from there. It hasn't stopped. But a cool, interesting fact is that when you think about Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and I want to ask G this, a lot of things come to mind, right? You think of traditions like football, the parades, but also Black Friday. Um, again, I should have researched this. Maybe if you know the answer, please let me know if anybody's watching. But why did the term Black Friday come about? I don't know. I need to look that up. But I do know, and I looking it up, it originated, and it could have started back when Franklin D. Roosevelt during the Great Depression moved up Thanksgiving because he wanted the holiday season shopping to start sooner to help with the economy.
Hmm.
So that's when
Makes
you started
sense.
seeing, yeah, like pushing people to go buy stuff and,
Hmm.
go wild. And I think that's the beginning of what we have today, which is crazy Black Friday, right?
Crazy Black
People
Friday.
lining up, fighting over TVs and laptops and whatever.
Are they really
They're
really
nice.
good deals? That's my question.
They're really good deals, but not worth like
Exactly.
beating up a little kid or a grandma for I mean, I think it's a little overboard. La gente
Okay.
se pasa. They get out of line. During the pandemic, of course, that wasn't as prevalent. Also, I think with online shopping and Cyber Monday and
Mhm.
Amazon, I think it's starting to go down a little bit. But we'll see this year if it continues. But you don't have this in Mexico, do you?
Actually, that's one of the funny things and funny stories about this because we do not celebrate the holiday, but in some weird way, we adopted the like insane discounts and insane sales from a lot of big corporations. So that's me. We have in Mexico what it's called aguinaldo, that is this big bonus you get at the end of the year. From your employee, from your job, basically, and you get this big bonus for Christmas and shopping and whatever. And recently, I don't have the exact. It was like maybe 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but it's called Buen Fin, which is translated like a great weekend.
Okay.
Good weekend. And it's a weekend like Black Friday where you can find insane discounts and good sales. Not that good sales or discounts, really. But yeah, it's exactly that, to help the economy, to help you boost, I don't know, maybe to help Santa Claus or Los Reyes Magos to get their stuff. Exactly, to get a very nice dinner. So yeah, that's something we share now with you guys. Like this,
Interesting.
yes, it's called
But not to the
Buen
point
Fin.
though where Buen Fin, but it's not like we're, so like when you picture, you haven't been a part of a Black Friday at all, right? You haven't never been.
I
never
have.
been a part.
I used to go to the U.S. On vacation with my husband before kids, a lot around this time, and a couple of years we were actually on Black Friday season, and it was crazy because I remember one year my husband was like, "Hey, I want to get a PlayStation." Okay, good luck with that. And I remember we passed through a Best Buy, and the line was insane, like insane.
People camping out.
And it was like 5 or 6 hours before the actual Black Friday starts, and people camping outside the stores. Insane. I remember he was like, "Screw it, I'm not getting it. Please, I want to screw it." It's insane.
Yeah, no, it's been. I've only been a part of I think 2, and I'm not doing it ever again. It's insane. No, it's literally you like the pictures that we saw earlier. It's a swarm of people, and I think this picture is really what it is. Like there's nowhere to breathe, right? Like everybody's crammed in every aisle, and people are literally like right next to the grabbing stuff. People are putting their carts full of things, and yeah, like I said, it's usually TVs as people go crazy for.
And again, my question is it really worth it? I mean, do you really like get like insane
not
prices?
Not that I think so, no. But maybe some people think differently. You see this picture here of this guy right here, Lita? He's holding on to this whatever this is.
Yes.
Like
what is that? What is
he's looking at that little kid right here.
It's mine.
He's like, "It's mine, kid."
Don't even look at it, kid. It's mine.
It's like that's how people get so angry, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But they've done better, right? Like you saw that line. A lot of places what they do is they give you a ticket. And then you get it outside. You go to line, you pick up your items. So they're doing a better job. But I think with everything with online and Cyber Monday, it's changing a little bit. Hopefully, it's not going to be as crazy as it was, 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting to know. Yeah. So again, my Black Friday shoppers out there, good luck this year. Hopefully,
stay safe.
Crazy. Yeah.
Stay safe and wear a mask, please. Wear a mask.
It's still not. We're not clear yet.
It's not over.
Not over. But when you think about big stores, I mean, yeah, Walmart's a big one. Best Buy you mentioned.
Target.
Target. You and Target.
I love Target. Hey, Target, sponsor us.
She looked great with the bullseye on her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would wear that vest. Like I was like, "Hey, come
the
on."
red vest. I work for Target.
I do. Welcome to Target.
So, all right. So that is a little bit of history there, a little bit about how Black Friday came about, right? It's that wanted to get the economy boost started right now more than any time. I think what's going to be hard this year is that things are taking a long time to get here. Let me ask you this, Gia. Are you guys dealing with that issue too, where if you're ordering stuff, it's taking a lot longer to get here for you, or no? You guys don't have any problems with like toilet paper and todas esas cosas?
Not now. At the beginning of the pandemic, yeah, but
it's
not now.
Starting it here again. It's been going on again.
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
And it's because again, it's just we're consuming so much that we don't have enough people working in the the shipyards that bring the ships and the containers, and also the trucks. Yeah. We don't have a lot of truck drivers right now, so it's pretty bad. So hopefully, folks are ordering their stuff early, and maybe shopping local instead of having to wait, because you might have some kids maybe that thinking Santa Claus is running Mexican time and going to be here in 15 days.
And don't make panic shopping, because that can like lower the right. The things are
that makes it worse.
That makes it worse.
Buy what you need, because that makes everybody else's. If you think of it just gets crazy. So please watch out for that. But let's move on to let's get away from that topic and we went to a happier topic.
But I want to know. Okay, shoot. I'm sorry.
No, what did you want to
go ahead? No, I was going to ask you. Like, let me know what a Mexican family eats on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, tamales. We can get some. We have to have tortillas with our turkey. Like we just go and
of course
put it in there. I mean, come on, right?
Of course.
Yeah, some Mexicanos, of course, you got to have your side of frijoles. Just the size might be a little different, but again, my family's pretty much has stuck with some of the traditional stuff with a little bit of the Mexican stuff, right? And we change it up every year depending on what we're in the mood for. So
Mm-hmm.
the turkeys, I think the turkey is probably one of the easiest things to cook. But then you have
Really?
some people. I think it's really simple. Yeah, it's so easy. It literally, you buy the bags now, like the oven bags.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in the oven bag. You put all the the spices you want, salt, pepper. You want to put I put what else did I put? Of course, some paprika to get us with
Mm-hmm.
ahí, some lemon. I also like to inject my
Yeah.
turkey with orange juice. So I grab some orange juice and then jeringos, I give it
Yeah.
the vaccine, right? I give tons of it.
Yeah.
So it makes it really juicy. And then once I put a little bit of you know,
I
vegetables
would
in there.
think it was tricky to get like the exact temperature in the oven and the
Oh,
exact time so it doesn't dry out, so it
no, it's pretty
stays
simple. Yeah,
nice and
you just get
juicy.
thermometer. You put that bag. There's even like a little thermometer popper that pops up. You say, "Ya está listo." It goes,
Oh,
and
really?
then you go. I still measure it though. I still want to make sure I don't trust that little chingadera because, like, can you imagine your family like, get todo el chorro y todo like, oh, something's wrong with the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I still check the temperature, make sure it's the right temperature. That's it. It's fácil. My sister, on the other hand, if she's watching, sorry, hermana, but she made a dry ass turkey one year, and we're just like, like, thank you. But good thing we
That's what
had
I'm
sides.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's tricky. I've never cooked a turkey. I might try it this year for Christmas, but it's
Pretty
tricky.
easy.
I've never tried it because I'm scared. Because
Yeah.
you, of course, are expecting like this beautiful big bird, juicy, tender, delicious, and
Mm-hmm.
if it comes out dry, I'm going to be like, you know.
No, I mean, you have to overcook it and just make sure that you have, you time it, test it, maybe test it a little bit earlier. And
Okay.
if you have a thermometer, you should be fine.
Okay.
Don't overdo
I'll
it.
let you know. I'll let
Let
you
me
know.
know. Let me know. I'm gonna send your family a survey. How was
How
G's
was
turkey from a
Steve's
scale
turkey?
of 1 to 10? How was it juicy or dry? 1 to 10.
Oh my god.
So I think that we like to do in my family is, during our Christmas, I movies, Christmas movies. We talked about Halloween movies,
Mhm.
but one of the years or the holidays that doesn't have a lot of love for movies is Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
But one of the movies that I always watch every Thanksgiving, and it's one of, for me, the Thanksgiving movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh,
Oh,
I
I
love
need to
this
watch
movie.
that. I need to
Oh,
watch
gee,
that.
it's hilarious from start to finish. So, again, if you're familiar with the actors, right? John Candy there to is it our left, right on your screen? And then, of course, the famous Steve Martin.
Steve
right?
Martin. I love him.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And this is all about them trying, the whole premise is, this is not a spoiler, it's been around for years. Steve Martin's character is trying to get home for Thanksgiving, but of course, starting with the plane, something happens, then he's got to take a train, then a car, a
I
bus.
think there's a recent movie with a similar plot with
Due Date.
Robert Downey Jr. Is that one? Is that the one?
Yep, Robert
Oh,
Downey
okay.
Jr. is Zach Galifianakis.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
called Due Date. Due Date. Very similar concept, igual, but this is the original, and I love this movie. So, when you watch it, when you get to the scene where it says those are not pillows, let me know, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Okay.
Those aren't pillows.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about if you
I'm
see
gonna
this
look
movie.
for it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but dude, John Candy's character is so, like, you can't help but like hate him, but also love him at the same time. One of those
Okay.
ones, yeah. So that's what we watch. We always watch it. I always have to watch this movie. I actually ended up buying it digital because I don't want to find what streaming service has it, so I just buy it so I can watch it.
And you always
every
watch it on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, definitely. So another thing that a lot of Americanos do here in the U.S. is that we watch football during Thanksgiving.
There's a football game. Yes.
There's a football game. So it didn't start with the NFL. It actually started with college back in 1876. The first Thanksgiving game started with Yale versus Princeton was the staple. As you can see, that one was in 1896. So it's gone on for years. I mean, I like that little picture there because it looks like they're eating turkey right there. Or no, is that a turkey right here? That with the band on the left?
It
Yeah,
looks
that's
like a
turkey right
turkey.
there. Or maybe that's her coat, but it looks like a turkey to me.
It looks like a turkey.
If it smells like a turkey, it must be a turkey. So yeah, it started with Princeton, but then in about several years later, once the NFL started, in the Detroit Lions in 1934, they started their franchise, and their first game, or one of the very first NFL Thanksgiving, was the Lions versus the Bears in 1934. So yeah, now every year you see the Lions play on Thanksgiving Day. The Lions and another team. G, do you know what other team plays on Thanksgiving?
This Thanksgiving, I don't know. Who plays on Thanksgiving?
Every Thanksgiving you have the Lions, and there's
Uh-huh.
another team that always plays on Thanksgiving.
Oh, wait.
I think you know this answer.
I don't. But I'm going to take a wild guess.
Take a wild turkey guess.
Giants? No.
No.
Another guess?
Another
What?
guess.
I should know this. Green Bay.
No.
Oh.
Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Yes.
Dallas
I read that
Cowboys
some-
and
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions are the two teams that. Well, it started with Detroit, and then several years later, the Dallas Cowboys decided, "Hey, we want a part of this," so they started playing every Thanksgiving. And then recently, they've added a third game, so now there's 3 games played throughout the Thursday for Thanksgiving. So I think they want to cover it all, right? Like saying, "Hey, there's no break. It's every morning, afternoon, at night. We're gonna have a game." So interesting fact, right? Another
Yes.
turkey right there.
Oh.
So if
One
and
of the
Cowboys-
46 million turkeys.
yeah, pobrecito, he's not gonna make it.
Oh.
But I think that does happen. I mean, like in the U.S., is that a turkey gets pardoned by the
yes.
president.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask
so-
that. Yes. I was going to ask that.
I didn't find out more, Richard, how that started. But yeah, every year, so I'm lucky turkey that gets to live
Lucky
his life.
turkey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this year, if you're watching football, it's going to be, Chicago versus the Detroit Lions, like the original game, which is awesome. The very first game of the Lions was against Chicago. But this year, it's Dallas versus the Raiders. But the Dallas usually would play like the Redskins. So I'm
Okay.
surprised they changed it. Yeah. And then it got New Orleans and Buffalo. That's the third game. So they mix it up now for whatever.
Because they're
whoever's
not called the Redskins anymore.
That's true. Maybe they took a break. It's just
Maybe they
Washington.
were like,
Mm.
okay,
Well, especially if it's in Thanksgiving, that is kind of a bad move, right?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Hmm.
Maybe.
Hmm.
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 Yeah, but they're gonna change their name soon. I hope. We'll see. Because Washington, the
There's,
Washington
like
team.
the W, yeah, exactly. Like they
Yeah.
need them.
Yeah, but yeah. Do you watch things? Do you watch football and things? Only if the 49ers are playing.
No, I try to. I mean, I know there's always a game on that, and it's Thursday. I mean, it's Thursday night, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try to. Yeah, I try to.
Yeah, because
But-
in Mexico, football is pretty popular now, right?
Very popular, yes. But I try to watch it, and I didn't know that the Lions and the Cowboys. Now that's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
You
for
learn something every day, people.
My gente from Mexico. You're welcome for that knowledge.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So there you go. So next time when you're with your friends there having dinner and be like,
I'm going to be
"Hey,
like, hey,
fun
did
fact.
you know exactly?
Did
Fun
you know
fact.
that the Dallas and Detroit Lions are the two teams that would play on Thanksgiving?
Yes, and we're going to be okay.
Okay, nerd. Well,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, right.
What about the Chivas? When do they play?
Oh no! Don't get me started on that.
Besides football, G, and besides soccer, the baseball is popular too there, no, in Mexico?
Yes. We have a league of our own, and it's pretty good.
Pretty good
Yeah,
league.
but baseball is very popular also.
So football.
Soccer
what do you
is
think-
like the number one.
number one. Okay, what's number
Football.
two? You think?
Football. I said soccer. I'm sorry.
Football.
Football.
Well, because you're in
Uh,
Stache and Lash, you're like, okay, Americans. Here's
Exactly.
soccer.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, football.
What's number two?
Football americano. Number two.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's like-
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
And maybe
Interesting.
baseball. Yes. But basketball maybe.
Yeah.
It's also like in the fourth. Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
But yeah,
So
those two.
no hockey, huh?
No, we don't have hockey here.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. That'd be kind of weird, right? In Mexico, what would be a hockey team name?
Los Cholos Quincles.
Cholos Quincles, Los Pingüinos. Los pinche pingüinos. All right. All right. So football is big. And again, a lot of, a lot of folks really do watch that, like honestly, from start to finish, some very little. It all depends, right, of how big of a fan you are. Of course, if you're a Dallas fan, if you're a Detroit fan, you probably are super into it as well. But I'm happy they got the third game. Hopefully, you'll see more fans. I don't know if they're going to keep another team permanently, but we'll see. A ver qué pasa con eso.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
cool because it's a holiday, and you get to watch football all
while
day
you're eating
long
turkey, yeah,
and
I
eating
mean,
turkey and having a good
you're
time,
getting fat,
getting stuffed yourself,
getting stuff yourself. It's stuffing, and you're watching
stuffing.
TV. That's
You're
America
watching
way right
TV.
there. Instead of like, but one of the things is, besides that, there are people that do they do a little bit active stuff. So a lot of folks, the day after I think the morning of Thanksgiving, they do a called Turkey Bowl, where they find local, people in the community, go to a local park and they play football. So play football in the park with friends. Usually starts with kids, but now you're seeing a lot of adults. My brother, he always tries to invite me, and I go, "You're crazy. I'm gonna get hurt."
Why?
Because they tackle, like they don't. It's not like,
Oh, they're not playing around. Like,
oh
it's,
no,
oh,
it's
okay.
it's called Turkey Bowl, and people get super hurt. And I'm like, no, I want to enjoy my Thanksgiving and my
I
Christmas.
want to enjoy my dinner. I want to
wanna be
enjoy
in a
my
sling.
movie.
Yeah, I don't want to be all cast up like this. Hey
Yeah.
guys, can I get a pavo? No, not
And
gonna do that.
also, talk to me about the parades. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't really care for them, to be honest with you. But I'm not a fan. I don't like
I'm like-
parades. I don't. But they do exist, so it is a tradition for a lot of folks, right? Parades are a staple right after Thanksgiving, and when you think about parades, you think of the Macy Day Parade. A lot of you probably will have seen like the movie Miracle on 34th Street or something like that.
Yeah.
But the first parade for Thanksgiving actually originated in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And it was the first Gimbal parade. It was called the Gimbal. And do you remember that name at all, Slash? Do you recall Gimbal? Have you
No.
heard that from a movie? Gimbal.
Gimbal. No.
Have you ever seen the movie Elf?
Yes. I love that
remember-
movie.
Do you remember when they're kicking him out of? Remember when he was going to visit his dad, and then security took him out,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "That's my dad. Okay, whatever. You should go to Gimbals." They told him, and that's where he worked at Gimbals, where he worked and met the girl that he liked. That store was called Gimbals, but it doesn't exist anymore, right? So,
Oh, okay.
Gimbals was a store just like Macy's, a rival, and it was in Philadelphia. 1920 was the first parade. So, fun fact: it wasn't in New York; it was in Philadelphia.
It was in Philadelphia. Again, another interesting fact.
But of course, it came in New York, and it became the Macy's parade. It became bigger than Gimbals. And the first parade that took place, Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, leading up for Christmas, was in 1924. So 4 years later, Macy's did it in New York, and they did not have the balloons. You know how you see the balloons now?
Mm-hmm.
They had real live animals the first 3 years. But poor animals, it was cold, it was miserable. So they decided, hey, we're not going to use animals anymore. We're going to actually put balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And the first balloon that they ever used was that one there in the front. His name is Felix the Cat.
Felix el Gato, of course.
Felix el Gato was the first balloon at the parade, and then eventually became a staple. The funny thing about it, I didn't know this, but I guess in the past, they would actually let the balloons go.
Oh, really?
After. Yeah, they would. Once they're done, they would let it go, and you see these giant balloons flying in the sky for whatever reason, and then.
Yeah.
But not no more. That's
not
pollution, I guess.
anymore. Yes, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, people are gonna get mad if that happens.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. But here's another fun fact for you, G. Out of all the balloons, because they use balloon characters of all kinds, right? Like cartoons and people. What do you think is the most popular character that has been in pretty much all the Macy's parade?
I love, and I don't know if this is the one because I love it and I always look for it, is the Snoopy. Snoopy. Am I right?
And she wins!
Oh, yay!
Snoopy is the most popular the most popular balloon in the parade. It's in every single one.
Oh.
So good job, G.
There you go.
That's right.
I love
Mm-hmm.
Snoopy. I love that character. And yeah, I always like when I see pictures of the parades every year, and I always look for the Snoopy balloon.
Yeah, I don't watch those parades. I just see them on pictures and stuff, but
Mhm.
I can't. It doesn't attract me. Like I can't sit there and
Oh
watch
no. Oh no,
like
no, no.
bands walking and people and balloons. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and another big parade here in the U.S. that's celebrated is Dia de las Flores, or Day of the Roses, or the Rose Parade.
Hmm.
In Pasadena. También, it's floats. Those big old moving floats with full of flowers, right? They put
Okay.
flowers though. Same thing. I'm just like, huh,
Yeah, yeah, it's not for everybody.
not a
We have
fan.
we have now a parade here, Dia de Muertos, and it's
Oh, that's
very
now that
nice.
that I might be interested.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so pretty, full of color, and we call them carros alegóricos, and they decorate them with a lot of flowers and skulls, sugar skulls, of course, mariachis, and every year there's a theme. So you have Dia de Muertos and a theme. So it's very nice. Paseo de la Reforma. It's beautiful. So if you can look it up, people watching, listening from another country, I highly recommend it. It's beautiful.
And this is during the 2 days of the Day of the Dead that takes place, or what day?
Yes, yes. I think it's the November 1st is when the parade. Yeah, 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 yeah. But
Did did
it's
they happen
awesome.
this year, or did they can't did
It
they not?
did. It came back this year. It
Nice.
came back this year.
Yeah, we
Yes.
gotta. I gotta. That's some. See, that's a parade I might look up to, because the other ones I'm not too fan. We'll see. But I like the colors of the. We'll see the pageantry. Maybe be different. So let me add it to my bucket list. G.
Of course, of course. But bring a jacket because it's cold.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very cold over here.
Well, I can imagine people that go to like the Macy's Day Parade. I mean, that's in New York, right? I mean, I can imagine how cold that is too. Yeah, being outside. I don't know how long they last. I would say it's at least 1 or 2 hours, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, no, no, thank you. Not a big fan. So let me ask you: do you think in Mexico, do you even watch the parades here? Do you even have access to them? Do you even know about them?
No, 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 no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I like I said, I just if I'm on Twitter and I come across pictures of the parade, I always look for the Snoopy balloon, and that's it. But yeah, we do not watch that here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, when I think about the parade, I mean, I always like I said earlier, right? I remember about that movie, right? The Miracle on 34th Street.
Hmm.
I hope I'm not butchering it, but I think of that too, because there's a scene where the fake like Santa, right? They
Hmm.
they thought he was the Santa of the parade, and they go, get up on the float, and he's just like, what? Okay. He's like, oh. And that little girl, she's like, that's the best look. That's the best real Santa I've ever. I love that movie too. I love this time of the year for when it comes to those family friendly movies.
We're going to talk about Christmas movies. There's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
an episode about Christmas movies for sure.
Oh show.
Oh.
So, gee, what questions do you have, being from Mexico, that you're curious that maybe we didn't cover around Thanksgiving, that you're wondering or that you're curious about?
Oh no, I was very curious about the history behind the holiday because I didn't know like much about the food. That fact about that they didn't even have turkey back then. It was interesting. Um, what else? What else? I was like very curious about your how you celebrate it because of your background, and we were talking about fusion of a holiday that it's celebrated where you live now, but again your cultural background is another one. So how can you combine those two? So it's very interesting to see, okay, so I live here now, so I can adopt that holiday, but I'm going to make it my own.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, and I'm
know, that's
curious to
that's
know,
very cool.
like other cultures también, ¿verdad? So if you have folks here in the U.S. that are from like Japanese cultures, or even if you talk about more other South American cultures, right? Like what have they done? So I'm very curious, right? I mean, I know this
Yeah.
is what unites us, being Mexican, from one side to the other, but I imagine there's a lot of, I mean, Middle Eastern. I
Yeah.
can imagine what the, imagine there's certain I mean, I guess it's not like, pork, right? So some countries don't eat
Hmm.
pork, and that's different. But turkey, I think, is pretty universal
Yeah,
across the
I think
globe,
it
right?
is.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I think it is.
restricted a diet for certain cultures or religions that I know of. So it's pretty
Yeah,
universal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
even though we do not celebrate that holiday in Mexico, where I live, I promise I'm going to eat a turkey sandwich. I promise. And I need that sweet potato casserole,
okay,
if you don't
I'll get
mind.
it. I will send it over, and you can take a picture and let me know
Thank
how
you.
it works out.
I will. I will. I will. I'm very excited. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was I was thinking about, you're talking about earlier about your turkey as well. I mean, whenever you want to give it a try, like, don't be afraid of it.
I'm
It's
going to
not gonna
try.
bite. It's not gonna bite.
I know it's easy. You told me it's easy, but I'm always like scared. I leave that to my mom or to the more experienced people because I'm like, no, turkey, me, no, never.
Yeah,
But I'm
but
going to try.
there's folks that do, like I said earlier, they do like deep fry the turkey. That's another. I should have. That could have been another episode. Like, people don't do it right. So you know how when you put aceite and Spanish
Uh
oil,
huh.
if you put too much, right, and you put in the weight, it overflows.
Yeah,
That's why you get a lot of fires. So you see a lot of videos, if you look on it, where people put the turkey and then the oil flashes over and it hits the fire and it just,
and it blows. Oh,
it's dangerous. Oh yeah, we I think here in the U.S. we lose a lot of a lot of fingers, and a lot of accidents happen during frying deep frying turkey or fireworks. Like, we get a lot
oh
of
yeah.
accidents.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be another episode
Yes.
coming up,
That's another episode. Yes. Yes. Yes.
because in
Yes.
Mexico, we love our fireworks.
Yeah, and over here they're illegal. So you have this big houses or warehouses where you have a lot of cohetes, as we call them, and one sparks and it's over. And there's been a lot of tragedy. No, I mean there's
Really?
been there's been people killed like because they have them in this big spaces. And if one blows,
Oh
the
yeah,
rest
it's
is
scary. It's
history.
all
So
gunpowder, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
What? Yeah, here in the
And it
U.S., a
always
lot of
happens
places.
every year. Every year you hear about some story about, oh, yeah, la casa tal tenía no sé cuántas kilos de pólvora. And yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
Dios. Wow, that's scary. Well, maybe that's why in the U.S. it's not. There's a lot of places that don't have it. You have to, like in Arizona, you would think, we didn't have it legal for many years because
Hmm.
we're in a desert, right? Makes sense. But now they've been making it, but you can only get like the ones that sparklers, not the ones that like explode.
Hmm.
But you know how us Mexicans do, we like to go across the border or across and bring them over, and uh, you know, um,
Yes.
but I love it when I was a kid. So that could be a whole. I mean, I have stories of my experience with this. Such a fun experience. But no, I think when it comes to Thanksgiving, G, if you ever are, if you've been a part of Black Friday and all that, so my folks in Mexico, again, a beautiful tradition. You know what? Just to close out, I think the best part is that you're around family.
Yeah.
You're sitting around a table, which is a very Mexican tradition, right? I mean, it's not always in one holiday. It's a lot of events, right? We sit down, we make a comida, we bring, we just celebrate a wedding, a birthday. I mean, we find ways to celebrate.
Hmm.
But here in the U.S., it's more of like, a big event that we celebrate. And what I love about our Thanksgiving, a lot of people do this, is we go around the table, and we all say what we're thankful for the year.
Yes.
And it always becomes very touching, when you've had a bad year, you've lost someone in the family, or a major accomplishment, a new life, right? Someone's having a baby, so it's very emotional when you go one person at a time. But that's one of the most, out of everything, that's my favorite part of things.
It's like a recap of the year of what happened to you, what are you grateful for. And I really like that. And even though we do not celebrate again, I've said it like 3 times, I always try
take
to
shots when you do that.
Yeah, exactly. I always try to like um, say something that I'm grateful for. I mean, there's no specific time of the year to be grateful about something. So for me, even though we do not, I try to like, okay, this is my list of things, and hey, my American friends, so I'm over here, I'm all the way over here, but I'm also thankful for a lot of things.
Yeah.
and
No.
sharing and being with your family. And yeah, it's a very, very nice tradition in my opinion.
Well, I think more than ever, right, during this time, the past few
Mhm.
years, we just have to be, we just have to remind ourselves of that, if whatever has happened in our lives, there's always opportunity to be thankful, and be grateful for the things we
Mhm.
do have. I know it's easier said than done. Some folks have had it more difficult than others, but it shouldn't be only one time of the year. But I think if any time has to happen, and that's why I really enjoy that, is
Yeah.
that you're able to come together and able to share that with your family. And then from there, it's the start of the Christmas and
It's
holidays,
like
right?
officially the kickoff for the Christmas holiday season, right?
Hmm. And then, of course, I can't wait to talk more about how the traditions in Mexico compared to the U.S. because there's a lot of beautiful traditions in Mexico, as there is here in the U.S. But for me, I just always have a special heart for those traditions in Mexico, and I want to learn new stuff, maybe stuff that I don't even know that you might even teach me. The
Yeah.
next few
And
episodes.
that's the first official holiday we actually share.
Yeah,
So it's going to be like fun, exactly, to know what you do, what we do,
that's
what
true. Yeah,
right? Because
Halloween is here, not there. Dia de los Muertos is there, here, but we're starting to, but it's officially there. And then Thanksgiving here, and that's so you're right. Christmas is one that is both.
that we
What?
actually share. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. A lot of facts. We're going to do our homework to see what we can
Yeah.
share and find out. So stay tuned for that. Oh, also, we're going to talk about movies and fun stuff. Also,
Traditions, decorations. I mean, you name it. We're gonna try to make give you as much content as we can. But you know what? That's okay, because if we don't, next year we can add more stuff.
exactly. Yes.
So, G, this is fun. I was like, you know what? We're gonna have a lot to talk about, and thank you for.
I
coming
love
to
this episode. I loved it.
Welcome to my house and what I've showed you about our traditions, but hopefully a lot of you also can relate, or if there is anything that your family does that was not mentioned here today, or if there's something that is unique about what you do in your traditions for Thanksgiving here in the US, please let us know down below. But with that, for my folks who are just watching, we ask you, please don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button, follow us, share this. If you really enjoy this content, we really appreciate you. And of course, please mention something below. We'll be happy to answer you. And just like our big fan that graciously said, hey, your channel's so good. Why don't should have more followers?
You
So I
deserve
really
more
appreciate
followers. That's so cool. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And stay
So-
safe. Have an amazing Thanksgiving to all my American friends over there that are watching, that are listening. Stay safe and have a great family time. And eat yummy food.
From the Stache and Lash crew, aquí el Stache Show, along with
And the Lash. Thank
signing
you,
off.
guys.
Hasta luego. Bye bye, everybody. We'll see y'all during Christmas holiday time.
Yes.